We are back to talk about the CJ Cup. Got a little more pep in my step than usual. Hit Keegan Bradley outright at the Zozo Championship at 35-1, so hoping to carry some of that momentum into this week. For the CJ Cup in South Carolina, this is a really cool course. It's Congaree Golf Club. It's a par 71 that measures 7,655 yards. Certainly one of the longer courses that you're going to see on the PGA Tour. It doesn't quite play that long. It should be firm and fast, but probably not as firm and fast as they would like it, given the fact that this is in October. We did have an inch of rain in the area last week, but I don't think it will quite play as long as it looks on the scorecard. It's a really cool course. So it's basically all fairways, all sand waste areas, and then water. Very little rough. It's going to be very open, very links style. If you've seen the Australian Sandbelt courses, it's a lot like that. So it does present, a much more unique look than we've seen on the PGA Tour the last few years. Of the 80 courses that I looked at on tour, this had the highest average driving distance. So you're definitely going to see a lot of drivers being hit this week. And with the fairways being 51 yards wide, you're going to see pretty high driving accuracy as well. 69% here in 2021. And there's definitely a big edge for those that could get it out there in 2021. So I definitely am looking at driving distance. Iron play is always going to be important. The greens here, you would think the GIR would be a little bit higher with the fairways being so easy to hit, especially hitting drivers, but it's a long course. So average GIR here was about 67%. So it's a lot more open off the tee than it is on approach. The greens are elevated, and if you do miss the greens, it's pretty tough to scramble around here. So good short game certainly going to come in handy this week. Not a lot of wedges going to be hit, a lot of mid to long irons, so a lot of 150 plus approach shots. Obviously, that's going to depend on how far you hit it off the tee. There's not very much at all rough on the course, mostly fairways, sand areas, and water hazards. The Bermuda greens are going to play about 11 on the stent meter, so a little on the slower side of things. When this event was played here last year, it wasn't actually this event, it was the Palmetto Championship. Gary Kegel one year. It was a full field event with a score of 11 under par, so played fairly difficult, but I will note that 30 golfers were at least 5 under par, and then 6 golfers were at 10 under par. So with the much stronger field this time around, I do think we're going to see a little bit better scoring than we saw here last year. In terms of the stats, I'm doing a pretty big weight to driving distance, pretty big weight to off the tee metrics in general. Approach is always going to be important. Proximity, so this is proximity with long irons, mid to long irons, so it's 150 to 225. So you guys like Hovland, Glover, Lowry, Hoagie, Davis all really rate out well with their mid to long irons. Green regulation, birdie or better, bogey avoidance around the green, putting with an emphasis on Bermuda splits. Now, if you're an RG Premium member, you can go through and set the weights yourself. So if you like short-term stats, you can, just trust the last 4 months, just trust the last 8 months, just trust the last 12 months, whatever you would like. I like to have a mix of all the different stats. Course history, we only have 1 year of data to work with, so very small weight in my model this week. The comp one is going to be strokes gained in no-cut events. So guys that play the best in these no-cut formats, you have Rory, JT, Rahm, Hatton, and Hovland. Hatton's really the only one that kind of sticks out in that group, and he also has a second place finish here last year. So I liked him last week, let us down, but don't mind hopping back on him this week. And then again, like I mentioned last week, we got a lot of different ways you can attack the long-term form. So if you're looking for upside, I would give a bigger weight to these 3 columns right here. If you're looking for more safety, I would give a bigger weight to these 3 columns. Since there is no cut this week, I would definitely look for more upside with maybe these 4 columns. Let's get to a couple things quickly. Overall ratings, again, I'll be adjusting the weights in my model throughout the week. And then some of the guys that pop in the point per dollar projections at the moment, we have Russell Henley, Shane Lowry, Aaron Wise, who I have one of my favorite plays on the board. I do think he'll probably be popular. I'll also have tee times and ownership projections added into the model, as well as FanDuel salaries. They aren't out just yet. So I'll have all of that included when you go to download it on RotoGrinders.com. Keith Mitchell, a guy that I like a lot this week, and then Mito Pereira, been playing a little bit better. He actually ended up having a great first round and then just fell apart last week at the Zozo. So want to wish everyone the best of luck. We'd love to have you as a part of RotoGrinders Premium. Hop in the Discord. It's a lot of fun as well. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you back here next week.